Welcome to my studio. I am super excited to share with you guys this new technique that I've been kind of playing around with. I wanted to come up with a fun, inventive way to do a creative color melt. And because I personally love doing a color melt, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I'm doing two colors together and I want to just use one color, but I want it to melt down into what's going on with the rest of the hair. So, creating like a shadow root effect, but using fashion color instead. My tools that I'm choosing to use today is Colortrak, and the first one are these little bowls, which I love. One, because they're sparkles, and I mean, seriously, who doesn't love some sparkles? And two, because they have these little hinges on the side of the bowls that latch together so that your bowls will be held together. Because I know that for me, sometimes when I'm being really creative, I also can get a little aggressive with the color bowls, and all of a sudden your color bowl goes sliding. For color brushes today, I chose to use the Colortrak feather-tipped brushes. These come in different sizes, all the way from small so that it's a little bit easier to detail with, or if you're doing shorter pieces of hair, smaller pieces of hair, all the way to a wide tip if you're trying to cover a lot of real estate at the same time. What I love about the feather tip is that they actually don't have a super blunt tip. They're very nice and soft. And what that does is it allows me to do a seamless melt or a seamless blend of the color without having to do a lot of side brushing and trying to get the blending in there. It just picks the color right up. So with a lot of the times with color brushes, when we apply the color and we put it down, it leaves a hard line, but you can see even with the first put down on the brush, it's already soft and feathered. And then as I pick up, because of the way these bristles work, it's just a perfect, seamless, smooth color that gives you a perfect melt so that you don't end up looking like you've got any hard lines, because nobody's looking for Neapolitan ice cream. The colors that I'm going to be using today are Matrix Soul Color Cult. The first color I've mixed is Flamenco Fuchsia with a little bit of bubblegum pink. I love putting the bubblegum pink in there because I think it gives it a little bit more of a pink effect. It kind of makes it a little more hot pink than kind of a darker, redder Flamenco Fuchsia. And then I also am using Lucky Ducky Yellow and Orange Alert. And then I have 3 color bowls that are placed right in front of that. And in those color bowls is just strictly water. I have 3 different bowls because I want a bowl of water and brush for each individual color, so I'm not contaminating brushes throughout the process. So let's get started. I'm going to take my sections at a diagonal parting. And the reason why I want to do that is because I want to create a little bit more flow with her color. I don't want to do horizontal because I want it to actually have a little bit more movement to it, and horizontal is going to create more of a veiling effect, and I want to have a little more movement to what we're doing. So as I place this on her scalp and move it down, I just want to do a little bit. I don't want to go all the way down her hair. And then I kind of lift my brush up a little bit at the ends, and what that does is it softens that look there, because like I said before, these Colortrak brushes with these feather brushes are really amazing for melting because they're super easy to get that effect. So now I'm taking a brush and I'm dipping it in water, so it's just purely water that's coming off of this brush, and I'm going to just soften the look. So you see that it just takes that orange and it softened the orange all the way down, and that's what's going to start to create that watercolor effect. I want to have a pretty heavy presence of color. Even though I want to soften that line out a little bit down there, I still want there to be enough color that when I do the watercolor, that there's enough color there to actually turn into a watercolor. Because if I made it like side brushed it and had just a little bit of soft color there, when I went to go use the water to create that watercolor effect, there'd be no color to actually push down. So you would create more of a hollow spot as compared to having a nice melt. And this for this next section, we're gonna have a little fun because, again, I just like to sometimes allow my creativity to just take its way with me. So I'm gonna go ahead and do another root of the pink in here. But on her bottom part, I'm going to do a little bit of the yellow. Now again, you can see I'm applying that a little bit heavy on that line. So I'm going to start blending my line from the bottom up, because this is already softened, this is not. And I want to make sure that that maintains some softness. So see how that just softened that line right out? And then I'm going to drag this color down into it so I start to create that watercolored effect. And voila, that is it. Now we'll sit and process for 20 minutes, we'll rinse, and then we'll come back when we're done.